I practice a life of being without ego, being without personal desire, being without fear. And yet I do things like this that require me to employ my ego. So I think that's where the trouble comes when I try to do something like this. I bring myself to a state, I bring myself to a place where I don't feel I need to do or say anything. And yet, I ask myself to sit in front of this camera and do exactly that. Say things that I feel need to be said, but I practice letting go of need, letting go of want. So how do I decide what needs to be said if I don't have any needs? I remember hearing somewhere about something about Buddhism that said something along the lines of, the path is really easy for those who have no preferences. And that relates to what I am. It relates to me, I guess. I don't like using the word me even, because I don't feel there's a me. I'm just an expression. I am just a happening. I am physics unfolding. I am mathematics unfolding. Geometry is unfolding. Because who's me, right? You know about the boat, right? The boat. They talk, I've heard, I don't even know what you call it, a parable or, no, I don't know. It's a story, I guess. Anyways, there's a boat. And, you know, the boat is made of boat things. Fuck. And then one year, the boat breaks its sail, you know, so they got to replace the sail. They replace the sail, and then years later, they fucking replace the steering wheel. Jesus, Jeffrey, I can't fucking think of words. And what I'm trying to get at is they keep replacing more and more parts of the boat until one day, that boat no longer has any original pieces. So is it the same boat? That's the question. Now you could apply that to humans as well. Just for an example, every 7 years you have a brand new set of atoms. There's no atom left over that was... I have no atoms. I'm 29 years old. All my atoms are brand new in comparison to me at 20 years old. And that's the case every 7 years, roughly. So if I'm not physically me, my atoms are different, then what is it? My mind? Okay. What's my mind? Is that my thoughts? Or is that my feelings? Or is that my ideas? We could say it's my thoughts. But my thoughts have changed a lot throughout my life. They're pretty much constantly changing. So is it my beliefs? Because I had some beliefs for most of my life that I no longer have. There's some beliefs I held when I was a kid that are completely gone. Some beliefs that I would have considered at that time to be me. And they're not anymore. So I'm not that person anymore. It's not my mind. I mean, if it's not my thoughts, I mean, it's not my beliefs, is it my feelings? Because my feelings are all over the place. They change from moment to moment. You might feel something for 20 years, and then something changes in you, and then you never feel that again. So what else is there to me? My habits. Again, something that always changes. None of these things are permanent. Nothing about yourself is permanent. The only thing that's permanent is the fact that you are. The fact that you be. The fact that you're aware. And even your level of awareness changes. This all came from the tangent of me saying I didn't like calling me, me. When I start explaining something, I create a mode of thinking. And in that mode of thinking, I kind of become that mode of thinking. It's kind of like wearing a suit that has certain effects on you. But nothing is freeing. Nothing is as freeing as being naked. Physically and psychologically. She's gone out. Let's start her up, boys. One of the modes of thinking I really enjoy is being burnt. Oh, it's so... I don't even know. I was going to pick a word like great, but it just doesn't even suffice. Words can't describe something as great as that. Just being able to be burnt, be silly, say whatever the fuck comes to your head. If something's funny to you, you just let it come out. What a freedom. What a lovely, lovely thing. See, that mode of thinking brings a lot of joy because it is a connection to freedom in some sense. But it's just a way to freedom, and I like all the ways to freedom. But I don't need the ways, you know what I mean? That's the thing. You use the ways to get to freedom. But when you get there, you don't even think about the ways. But anything can bring you to freedom. I realize that if I want to stay in a state of truth, where I feel at peace, I have to abolish my ego. In this moment, that's the thing. Everything changes from moment to moment. Abolishing the ego does not mean that you can never potentially use it again. But the more you abolish your ego in every moment, the less desire you will have to use it again. You know, I feel like I talk for a while, and then I'll think for a while, and then I'll feel for a while, and then my body kind of just starts transforming, you know, and I'll do movements that are just practicing something. It's practicing control, really. And when I do this, just tapping, making drum beats. Not practicing drums, practicing control. But at the same time, I guess I'm practicing drums, right? Bodies are burnt, man. Burnt. 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 Be burnt. Be burnt. Be burnt. Just express yourself. What's the point of this? None at all. Do it. Just fucking be yourself. Just shit it out of your mouth. Whatever it is. You start being yourself, let go, stop trying to be something. Then you'll realize what you're trying to be, and you'll be like, I don't want that. And then you'll just stop being it. Sounds simple, I know. But that's the process overall. I mean, a lot of shit is going to change. But it's so you can be yourself. So be yourself. I got to talk to a machine and be like, hey man, be yourself. The camera's doing an excellent job of being himself. It's just, it does all the things it's supposed to do. There's no conflict, there's no dissonance in it. Things wear out, I guess. Things heat up, I guess. I don't know. But you know, you understand the analogy? That you're doing your thing. We all fight our thing. We all resist our thing. We're all like, oh, I can't fucking be myself. Jesus. What would people think? Be yourself. I'm telling you and I'm telling me at the same time. It's just constantly reminding me, like I'm saying, you know, be yourself. And I keep being myself because why not? I want to narrow it down to one reason how I kind of keep being myself. But everything's a contributor. Everything affects everything. Everything causes everything. There's no real cause and effect of any kind. Be yourself. Even if it sounds fucking crazy. Just do it. It's fun. I'm telling you. It's the most fun I've ever had. I know a lot of you already be yourself in a lot of ways. But we all have some resistance. We all have something from society that makes us not be everything we want to be. But we can. You just got to know you can be yourself. I don't know. I'm not trying. What am I trying to tell you? What am I trying to prove to you? Nothing at all. I keep telling you to be yourself, so I feel like now I got to convince you why. I'm not going to try to convince you. Just do it. I know that sounds like convincing. But yeah. I'm hanging out with a camera now. That's what this has become. I'm just having a laugh with myself, which I do all the time, but I don't really need to speak out loud in order to have a laugh with myself. But now that I've got to speak out loud, or at least I told myself to speak out loud, I'm talking to a camera and I'm having a laugh. I used to be fucking totally ashamed to do something like this because I would think it was fucking bonkers. And even just remembering that I used to think that way can reignite the feeling. I was going to say mode of thinking, but then the feeling replaced it. But mode of thinking it is. And then you live it, and then it comes with other thoughts. And they can start to instill themselves and like set up camp for a little bit. And then when you know they're there, they're going to take a hike. They don't like being watched, you know. They want to... Yeah. What point am I trying to prove now? This is the regular habit. I end up speaking whatever comes to my head. And then it makes sense to say more that comes. And then I end up feeling like trying to prove a point of some kind. Because I am talking about something in particular. But I don't know what I'm trying to prove. Am I trying to prove anything? Or am I just talking? Am I just saying, hey you, what are you at? What are we at? What's there to be at? What could we be at? Holy moly. You start thinking about what could we be at? Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It is, and you know it. You've all probably did it. But then at some point, this dude pops in your head and says, but that's not possible. And then you go, fuck. It sucks that that's not possible. That would have been really fucking cool. And then you just think that's life. But it's not. You can do whatever fuck you want. Now I'm trying to prove another point. But yeah. You can do whatever you want. Like you, the real you. You know. Not the one you talk about. Not the one you identify with. The real you. The will to be. You are willing yourself to be alive right now. You understand that? You understand that? Fuck, I sound so... I don't know what the word is. I like retract when people talk like that. When people are like, you understand that? It's an indicator to me that they are separate for the moment and they think they are the teller and this is the learner kind of thing, you know. It creates that duality when really I'm just speaking to you who is me, and there's no real separation. I'm just saying things that form in my mind. Over here you have a different kind of form, but you're still the same thing that makes the form. We're just different forms, but we're still made of the same junk. Junk.